All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches podcast where we talk about everything going on in sports. And there is obviously a ton of football right now. But unfortunately, the Dodgers also won the World Series. And unfortunately, on top of that, we have a Dodgers fan on the podcast. So we have to start with the Dodgers winning the World Series. And they're very, very good. We all saw that. They won very handily, made New York look really, really bad. Brother James, you have the floor. Whatever you want to say about your beloved Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, they tore it up. They tore it up. But like I told y'all before, they had that bullpen that I'm dangerous. Uh, the
They had a
bats was
bullpen. They had a bullpen do a whole game, two whole games. They like,
that's
oh,
right.
we don't have a starter. We're just gonna do the
We're
bullpen.
just gonna we're gonna roll the bullpen.
Yeah.
So what team in the majors can do that?
Well, I thought the Phillies, but obviously not.
Okay, so then you have right. The bats was on fire.
Yes, yes.
One thing about baseball is who's when it comes to October. It's about whose bats are on fire at that point. Because like in football, we say defense wins championship, right? But in baseball, it's about who's hitting the ball at that time because the defense is already there. If your offense is on fire at that point and you have a decent bullpen, you that's a recipe for success. Now the question coming forward is, are they going to keep the bullpen? Are they going to do something stupid like everybody else do and let somebody go? You know,
They
if they
have
can if
there's
they can keep them, then I see them repeating.
well, they're talking about going and getting Soto, which would be bananas because their payroll. Granted, you have to extrapolate it out for the 30 years that they're paying it, but it's like they signed like $1 billion worth of players last year. They're just not paying for it yet. If they go get Soto and add another $600 million to whatever mathematics they're doing, that's going to be a absolute. They don't even need pitchers if they get Soto.
That's what I'm talking about. So then they made four people.
Because they got because Shohei will be coming back next year and he'll
Yeah.
be pitching. Oh,
And then
I hate.
old boy gonna be pitching. Kasumi, whatever his name is.
I I don't. Yeah, none. I don't like any of it. All of this
Yeah,
is
that's
terrible.
all right. It's all right. You
Congratulations.
know,
Hey, good
Yeah.
job.
don't hate. Just congratulate, player.
So
That's
happy.
right. Congratulations.
Yes, we're so happy for you.
I appreciate it, Deacon, because I know yours is coming from the heart and it's sincere.
Yes, yes.
All right.
What's that
And
supposed to mean? Wait. So when I text you and said, congratulations, you don't think that was sincere? I mean, I would say
No,
this.
Bill, everything you say to me is suspect.
Well, that's okay to be suspect. I mean, that's okay.
I love you, but
Oh, I
it's
love you back.
suspect, bro.
I would say this, though. I thought that the way game one ended, I thought, okay, and I texted this. I said, let's see what happens, in game two. Is there going to be any carryover?
Yeah.
Um, winning the first two when you're at home in the World Series, yeah, the majority of the time you go on to win. But I thought the turning point or the barometer for the series was the Yankees. It wasn't so much that the Dodgers bats were on fire, but that the Yankees bats were neutralized for like
By the bullpen.
yeah, I mean, but it wasn't even whoever the starting pitcher was. The guys that you needed, and you don't necessarily need to hit a bunch of home runs. You just, to your point, you just need to get hits. You need to get guys on base to put pressure on that rotation. And the Yankees, when you have a 5-0 lead, and then it just gets whittled away. I'm like,
That
wow,
that that was a collapse. That fifth inning in game five.
man,
That
I'm
was
like,
over,
just
wow,
my
what
God,
happened? Yeah,
my
I
God,
mean,
every little league coach is going to show the
yeah.
kids, hey, pitchers, cover freaking first
Yeah,
base
I
when the
mean,
first baseman gets a ground ball. That's
yeah,
like T-ball. That is
you know what
T-ball
I think
baseball.
though? I don't think he could outrun that guy. That pitcher
He
said, "Ain't
couldn't.
no way I could get there." That's what he
No,
did. He tried to-
the deal of is that's right, Deacon. the deal of it, he couldn't get there. And then on top of that, the first baseman had where he fielded the ball, he should have been able to run to the bag.
Well, if he
And,
expected him
and
not
get
to,
it.
if he expected him not to cover, he could have
But
gotten that.
the deal of it is see, you train as a first baseman also to start going towards the bag.
But all these things that we're talking about,
Just in case the pitcher doesn't come.
yeah, and the things we talk about, fundamentals. Yeah, you say, yeah, you learn that little league, college, well, regular season, but playoffs magnify the littlest mistakes, and that's just where you see it. I mean, in all four sports, all it takes is just one, just something
But
like
that wasn't
that.
the reason they lost.
I'm not saying that's not the reason they lost, but I'm saying when you're already in fighting for your playoff lives,
Yeah.
anything like that's
Everything counts.
everything counts. That's what they say. You have to try to win every play. They always talk about that in
Yeah.
sport. Try to win every play because that's the way the competition is. It's that tight.
Bill, you finally said something I agree with.
Man,
Congratulations to the Dodgers. We'll have to see what happens next year because it's a long season. A lot can change. I mean, I thought
A
the
lot can
Phillies,
change. A lot can change.
I thought the Phillies were gonna come out of the National League, and they got bounced in
the
in
Mets.
the AL in
Yep.
the divisional series here. Yeah. So
Yeah,
The Mets surprised the world this year. If somebody was
They
betting
did.
on them,
Yep.
they made a
Yep.
lot of money this year.
Well, they were terrible until like the All-Star break, and then all of a
I
sudden,
mean, for real.
yeah.
But yeah, if they was betting on the Mets, they made a whole bunch of money.
Yeah. I saw so Freddie Freeman, I think he was hitting better than the entire Yankees team until like the fourth game.
Right.
He had the same amount of runs.
He was
had a-
beasting.
He's that dude. Whoever wants to go to the playoffs, go get Freddie Freeman. That dude is the playoff dude. He's like what's his name? Carlos Beltran was
He's kind of like LeBron James.
10 years ago. Yeah, kind of, except makes the finals and stuff.
He's like LeBron James without the whining. Yeah.
And the flopping.
Well, here we go.
And getting your kid drafted.
Here we go.
Yeah, I said he's like him.
Okay. All right. So
y'all just some haters.
Yeah. Well, I'll take that label for sure. But so to pop your balloon,
And why you wearing a United States flag shirt? I just realized that.
It's election day, which only happens once every 4
What's
years.
today, James?
Election day, man.
What's going on across the country today, James?
I mean, it's election, but God got it all in control.
That's fine, but I can still wear the shirt.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Joe.
All right,
I'm so used to seeing you in that 49er gear.
Beautiful, my beautiful gold and red.
I'd rather see him in that shirt than the 49ers stuff.
I got him covered in my background. It's okay. Keep going. Keep going. Next
all right. So we're popping the balloon.
All right, pop the balloon.
Okay.
Here we go. You want me to start out with that one?
Yeah, you might as well. You got your Miami Raiders hat on. We'll start with you. Okay. Raiders wiped out the offensive staff. They brought in Norv Turner as a consultant and then upped his son to offensive coordinator, which means basically his son gets the title and Norv's telling him what to do. Thoughts on the Raiders coaching move?
I think that was a good move because he has experience. He has Super Bowls under his belt. He can groom his son, and his son's gonna do exactly what he tells him to do. I feel that this year is done. Okay, so everything that we're doing right now is based on is for next year. Okay, I'm very curious of what we're gonna do in the draft. Are we gonna get a quarterback? Okay, I think Antonio Pierce has another season in him. If next season he doesn't do anything, he will be the next one to go. Because he inherited garbage when he took over. And so, I think we made a good move with that. I think I do, like I was telling Deacon Greg when we was at church, I really wish we just lose all the rest of the game so we can get higher picks.
Get whatever quarterback you want.
Yeah.
Do You guys
you
might do
know,
that. You guys might do that. So there's still hope.
well, now, Bill, not Bill, Joe, y'all too much alike. Hush your mouth. You just sit over and just be quiet. I'm talking.
Sure, sure.
All right. So I really do think that we need to do something different, but we'll see. All right.
All right, Deacon Hill, thoughts on your Raiders wiping out the offensive staff?
Yeah, I won't go as far as my Raider brother and say that it was a good move, but it was the only move. It was a desperate move, and I would say, you know, we had to get rid of the coordinator. We got rid of the coordinator, we got rid of the offensive line coach, and got rid of the quarterback coach. I don't think they had any confidence in anybody else on that staff to just bring him up to make him the offensive coordinator. So they brought in Norv Turner, and like you said, he's going to actually be the offensive coordinator. His son got the title, but he's going to actually be doing, you know, probably calling all the shots. And I think we're just in evaluation because the thing about Norv Turner is he was never really a great head coach, but he always was a good offensive coordinator. So I think, and what we've been saying all season, that the Raiders never had an identity. I think he could give them an identity with his play calling and his structure and stuff. And then now I think they're just evaluating. So if I bring in a competent offensive coordinator, I can evaluate my talent to see who I need, who's going to be able to stick for next season. And I think that's the route they're going. And far as the coach, the head coach, I would give him, all right, I'm gonna go so far as to he's gonna finish out the rest of this year. We'll see if they hire an offensive coordinator. They're gonna do the evaluation, see what they need. And if this offensive scheme is trying to work out something, they might stay with it or not, but they might look for an offensive coordinator in the offseason. But I would if they're not playing well by their bye of next year, if they're in the same situation, I think they got a clean house with the head coach next year. I would give him a half a seat. I would give him to the bye, depending on how early the bye is. They got an early bye, you can't do that. But if this, like they had this late season bye, if you got a late season bye and your team is not doing any better, I wouldn't stick with the head coach. You got to get a head start on trying to find you a coach. So we'll see.
I agree with that, D.
All right, Brother Bill, thoughts on the Raiders?
Yeah, I think so. North Turner's been out of football for
Here we go.
quite some time. I'm not saying to be critical. I'm just facts. It's just facts. He's been out of football for a while, right? Even if he helps to try to give the team an identity, win or lose a game, it would be interesting to see what the quarterback situation looks like for the rest of the year. Because trying to evaluate a team, you need some sort of offensive continuity to figure out what you're going to do with your offense. Because even if you get out and draft a quarterback, you know, in the offseason, the problem to try to still solve is what to do offensively. And so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season shakes out. I think anything, as long as next year, if the team starts out, you know, 2-6 in the first 8 games, then sure, that means more likely Antonio Pierce doesn't survive. But even at, you know, 500 or a game under 500, I think the key is just going to be, is there progress? You know, is the team competitive in each game? And because if you look across the league over the years, the teams that go through head coaches every few years, they very seldom find any sort of success. You know, it takes time. Granted, unless the head coach is just doing like a horrible job, like the 49ers did when we went like 2-14 with Dennis Erickson, then we had Chip Kelly. So the Niners had some very lean years, but that's because the head coach, I mean, it was just terrible, right? You win 2 games the whole season, coach got to go. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Raiders. Again, not critical, just be curious to see what kind of continuity they can build up offensively. Because the defense the defense, I still believe, the strength of the team. Now it's just trying to find an offensive identity and build on that.
Yeah, I think Norv, he's like one of those guys where you know when they talk about, you know, you bring an adult in the room to kind of settle everything. I think he's that guy. I think he's going to come in. I think the offense will look a lot better. I think it'll look like you guys have a game plan and have a strategy and stuff. I'm sure Minshew will probably resemble the Minshew more like Indianapolis Minshew, where he was almost getting into the playoffs. He's probably going to be more that guy than he's been. He's been pretty sporadic. He's been like the Minshew, the guy you expect to come out of Washington State, like that kind of that guy. I think he'll settle down. I think they'll be solid. I don't know
I
how.
think they should go with Ritter because if it Minshew, I think I think where he struggles is his decision making. When to
I seen something the other day where they said that they were asking the question that Minshew take his last snap as a
right,
Raider. So
right,
I don't even know if he's going to be back
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I would, man, Ritter's not good, and I could, I mean, I could see them. I could see Norv giving Minshew a chance because he'll probably win it out in practice. It'll probably be like a thing where we're gonna win it in practice. He'll probably win it out in practice, and if whether he makes good decisions or not.
The good thing is they got a bye to figure it out. So
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. All right,
Thank you, Jesus.
yeah. All right, so moving on, we are halfway through the season. And I just kind of wanted to get like now we've seen some teams. To me, there's been some major surprises of what teams are good or what teams are not as good as we had hoped they would be.
You like
Niners.
Niners?
Big
Perhaps, perhaps. You guys are twins, eh? Um, so I was wondering
guys
who
got McCaffrey back.
Super
Oh,
Bowl,
McCaffrey back?
Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Joe. Yeah,
He'll be hurt.
So,
He'll get hurt in
so
the
I kind
second
of
against Tampa Bay.
so I kind of wanted to go. Tampa Bay looks really good. So I kind of wanted to go through and just kind of get your ideas. We'll go from conference to conference. So we'll start with the NFC. Who are like the top three teams that you would not be surprised if they are in the NFC championship game from this point of the season, and not like not even if they're like the top three in the league right now. Just you see something where you go, I could see them making the playoffs and doing really well. Brother Bill, I'm going to start with you.
Detroit, because of their offense, their quarterback takes care of the ball. He's efficient. They they have playmakers on offense. Question's going to be their defense. Losing Aiden Hutchinson, is if the defense maintains, they should be fine.
They
Um,
just picked up the guy. Oh God, what's his name? He was a killer on the Packers a couple years ago.
yeah, I
Was it a
saw
pass
that.
rusher?
Yeah, he's defensive
Yeah,
end.
pass rusher.
Yeah, so they just picked him up to I think offset that.
Don't count out Philadelphia without in the title game. I don't know because to me the path to the title game I always believe is especially in NFC is you have to be one of the either the number one or the number two seed. Only the one seed gets the bye and has home field. But even if you're the two seed, if there's an upset and the one gets bounced in the divisional round, then you get a postseason. So I think it's about playing as few games as possible in the postseason. Washington to me is the shock. I mean, they're definitely contender. We'll have to see what the other half of the season looks like when they play Philadelphia, when they play, and they should beat Dallas because Dallas isn't
Sucks.
good.
Yeah, even
Right?
Dallas
even
is
even
done.
uh, even Dak
Um,
says it on the sidelines.
yeah, and so I would say Detroit and Minnesota that defense, but it's always a question mark. What are you going to get? You've got quarterbacks who are with the teams the first year and they're balling. So to me, to answer your question, I wouldn't be surprised if either Detroit, Philadelphia. I'm not going to count out the Niners. However, they've got to get McCaffrey back. They've got to get 57 back, linebacker. His name
Greenlaw,
escapes me.
Greenlaw.
And they got to get Santa
Greenlaw back.
Claus with a partridge and a pear tree.
They've they've got to get their skilled players back in order to make a run. That's the only way I can see them getting to the title game because you win your division, you get one home game, but then you got to go on the road against.
You're not winning your division, bro. They're not
Oh, the
even.
Niners got to win the division.
He talking about the Niners?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Niners. Come on, I haven't even been paying attention the last 60
Man,
seconds. Come
I'm
on,
telling
man.
you,
No, I even took my earpod out
And
just
then the
because
AFC,
you was
and the
talking. I don't even
AFC
listen
real quick.
to Bill.
AFC, Kansas City, of course. I
yeah.
mean, they're proven that they can win games different ways with different players. You just they're legit. Buffalo and the Buffalo Kansas City game to me is going to be for home field in the AFC. The winner of that game. That's that Buffalo's. I don't know if they're going to get a better shot to beat Kansas City. If they can beat Kansas City with the way Kansas City's been playing this year, I don't think it's ever going to happen. And the Ravens. I see the Ravens. So both the Ravens and the Bills got to figure out a way to beat Kansas City when they get the chance to in the playoffs.
All right. Deacon Hill, top three for you in each
Well,
league.
Bill named the teams. I think I wouldn't sleep on the Commanders in the NFC. The Commanders, the Eagles could get there, but the Eagles are battling injuries. If they don't get their injuries together, I don't. And like you said, the coaching is suspect with them also. As far as the Lions are for real. We know the Lions are for real. The Vikings, I think they're coming back down to earth a little bit. So I'm not. I don't know too much about the Lions. But I will address them Niners. You can cancel that, okay? We ain't even gonna go there. Don't even look, Bill,
Yes, Greg.
get it out of your system, bro. The Niners. I'm looking. What you guys are sitting at 4-4 right now? Oh no, Niners are out
Yeah,
of
they
it.
were. Yeah, so the Niners have the same record right now they did in 2021 and made it to the
That's
NFC
not the
title
same, but
game.
that's not the same division. This is a whole. I'm looking at these teams that you guys are not.
Sure,
You're not competitive
sure,
with the top teams, okay? You're not
sure,
competitive.
but not right now at week 9. You have to wait and see what the rest of the season looks like, and then you just get to you win the division, and then you get to the playoffs.
You're not
That's the way
winning your
it works in
division.
this league.
You're not winning your division.
Okay.
You're not.
You said okay, and you come from the same guy who said the Cowboys were going to win. I know I couldn't make it there this past Sunday, but keep on saying what you're going to say. Make your next prediction. Just don't go to
Oh,
Vegas on it.
Okay, on to the
And
AFC. On to the AFC. The Chiefs are going is the top of the top. The Bills are not going to get the Chiefs. So the Chiefs is going to be the top team in the AFC. Then you're looking at, and it's going to be a toss up with the Ravens are coming. I don't think the Steelers are going to hold. The Steelers got a decent. They're 6-2 right now, and they're holding on. But I don't think the Steelers are going to hold up. They probably get a wild card, and the Texans will probably be around. And but I think. The Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC. I don't think the Bills going to hang with them.
So you're the same. You're Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, not necessarily in that order.
You know what? I would go Chiefs, Ravens, Bills.
Okay, but the same three teams though.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, brother James. Top three in the NFC, top three AFC for the end of the year, not necessarily right now.
all right. So AFC, I'm gonna go AFC first.
Raiders,
No, we're going fishing.
Dolphins.
Uh, uh, we're going fishing with the Niners. Uh,
No, we ain't fishing with them. We'll be.
so AFC Chiefs. Even though I really don't want to say that name, but the Chiefs,
Yep.
Baltimore, and the Bills. I agree with that. Baltimore is going to win it,
Oof.
like I've been saying. But now going over to the NFC,
Niners.
no. Um, Detroit, Washington, and I really would say, oh gosh, Green Bay looking nice.
quarterback's hurt.
Quarterback's hurt though.
Love is hurt.
Uh,
They just got smoked at home.
so he got hurt. He was hurt. He's playing injured.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think the Philadelphia Eagles is going to find a way.
Oof. All right. So I'm a total agreement with all the AFC stuff. Baltimore is the team I can't figure out because if they could just play in the playoffs comfortable, I don't see how. To me, they're like impossible to beat. Their offense is impossible to beat if they're comfortable. But there's some. I kind of likened them last year to like the Celtics. When the Celtics were comfortable, they're so hard to stop. But they could get like in their own head and then have an off.
But the Celtics won the championship this
No, I
year.
agreed. Yeah. So I think if the Ravens can figure out how to be comfortable, I just don't see how in the world you stop that offense when Lamar is comfortable. When he's like, when do I hold it? When do I run it? When do I mean,
That's what, and I'm thank you. I'm glad you agree with me because they're going to win the Super Bowl.
mm, I still got until somebody
Yeah,
beats
yeah,
the Chiefs.
yeah. Someone has to beat the Chiefs. Think about the year Cincinnati Bengals won the Super Bowl. They beat the Chiefs in the title game at Kansas City, and they did it because their defense held up for the whole game. So teams have to be able. I mean, number one, you got to be able to score more
Has
than
Kansas City played Baltimore yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played them early in the year.
Yeah.
Early in the year, that didn't count
That was the first game of the
First game,
season.
yeah.
because
Yeah,
we beat them.
down the
We
line.
beat
But I guess my
Baltimore.
point is,
We beat Baltimore at the beginning of the season, so that really don't count.
yeah, that doesn't matter. That was the beginning of the season. Come on, man. That was the Super
Exactly.
Bowl.
It was a heck of a game. He caught that pass and he was on the line in the end
He was
zone.
out. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Thank
Yeah.
you, Deacon Greg. I'm glad somebody remember that game. Telling you.
I said that was the Super Bowl.
I just-
But to get
I-
back to-
So-
to get
so-
back to the Chiefs.
So when y'all want just like the Dodgers, when I win it, when I said I think y'all need to start putting some money in the pot.
No, we're gonna get a belt. You can get a championship belt.
Something.
Pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope. All right. So for my NFC, it's 100% Detroit. Detroit's great. I don't think the Vikings are coming down to earth. I think Sam Darnold is coming down to earth. I think he's I think they're going, okay, this guy didn't do well like 4 seasons. We got to figure out how to put him in those situations. Justin Jefferson is, I can see, I'm very against paying these monster contracts to wide receivers. That dude's on a whole other level of wide receiver. So I can see why they gave him all the money. The Commanders are playing great. My only pushback on them is their offensive coordinator always seems to take like a second half of the season kind of nosedive. And I don't know if that's because people adjust to his game. I don't know if he runs out of idea. I don't know what it is. And
Joe, they was booty last year.
I know with the Commanders.
Yes.
No, they're great right now. I'm saying their offensive coordinator seems to take a dive in the second half of the season, and their quarterback's a rookie. And I think just once you get into like real pressure games, you're gonna play a little bit differently. And maybe the coaching, maybe the play calls will pucker a little bit. Maybe the quarterback will pucker a little bit. But and I think you're kind of seeing that in Houston, where okay, people saw he's a great quarterback. Loses his top 2 receivers and stuff, and like you kind of he's coming down to earth a little bit. And I could see that at the end of the year, just because like we saw, like the Niners should have lost both of the playoff games last year. But what happened? You had young players that were balling during the season pucker up when they needed to catch the ball, or Jordan Love when he needed to throw the ball, and I see them kind of tailing off. The Eagles are so poorly coached. They are such a talented team, and they are so poorly coached. I don't see them doing anything, which is where I see the Niners coming in, making the playoffs, winning the division, and then running the ball and playing defense. Hey, I swear to God, I'm not.
Hey, you know what? I take it back though. You guys' division is garbage. You might do that.
It sucks.
You might do it.
Oh, so now it's
what we're saying.
I mean, I just said you just got to win a division. I mean, you got to beat Arizona and the Rams. You got to pay them back, and you got to beat Seattle again. And that's it. I mean, that's their formula to win in the division. And then
Arizona gonna beat y'all. Yeah, y'all can't beat Arizona.
No, I'm worried about
even with the
the
little
Rams.
midget.
No, I'm not worried about the Arizona. I'm worried about the Rams. The Rams.
Exactly. If you saw the way the Rams came, beat Seattle in overtime, I'm with Joe. I'm more concerned about the Rams than I am Arizona.
Seattle's no good. Seattle's.
No, I said the Rams, not Seattle.
I know, but you said the way they beat Seattle.
They
beat Seattle.
They just manhandled them in the second half. I mean, it was
Seattle ain't they're nobody. You better watch the Cardinals though. The Cardinals, I think, yeah.
I'm telling you.
I just looked at your division. Yeah, that is a sorry
division. Sucks. Yeah, that's why we're That's why we're going to the playoffs.
But you ain't gonna do nothing in the playoffs.
Thank you. You ain't even gonna make it because the Cardinals gonna make sure y'all don't go.
Kyle does not go.
I'm with you. Kyle does not go Brother James. You guys can't beat the Cardinals.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Did you guys play them this year?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They gave the game away too.
Maybe we lost. Maybe.
And they lost.
Not important. It was early in the season.
At home?
What happened early in the season?
It was at home. They beat them. They beat them in Santa Clara.
Right?
You guys ever heard of rope-a-dope? We're doing right now in the NFC West. Rope-a-dope.
But you guys, that was a home game, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes.
It was.
That's how I just trying to confirm that.
They got their tail
He's in deep thought right now. What are you looking at, Bill? It ain't gonna get no better, bro.
Hey, you know your mama always told you can't get beat in your own front yard.
But you know what she said? If you did, you got to go make sure you do it to the other person. So we're going to Glendale, and we're gonna
Bill, don't look too comfortable.
We're gonna take little Kyler and boop.
Bill, Snap out.
Yo,
Get
we
off
lo-
of mute.
you just have to keep playing. Get guys back and keep
Yeah.
playing. We say
If
that
we
every
Oh,
make
week.
if
y'all
we
got
make the
McCaffrey back?
we will.
McCaffrey's practicing this week.
Yeah, we will.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
If we
He-
make the playoffs, we're still tough. Like we're still tough in the playoffs, and the
he-
expectations will be low because we'll barely make it. So I could totally see us being at least in that NFC Championship game, like we were a couple years
No,
ago.
You
Hey,
didn't.
hey,
Joe,
hey,
Joe,
hey,
Joe.
hey,
We said we don't smoke that stuff before we come on this podcast.
hey, hey. I heavily smoke red and gold. All right, I did before we got on heavily.
He said, "Did you say the championship game? NFC
Yeah,
championship?"
Yeah,
it's only two games. If
yeah.
we make the playoffs, it's
Look,
just two
look,
games.
look.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
because
Look, let me watch this.
win the division, take
He
care of
left.
business at home, go on the road,
Yeah, it's what
win that
Kyle's
game, and then
done.
you're the champion, and then you're in the title game.
It's what Kyle does. He just runs the ball to death, and we wear the other team out, and we go and win the game.
The problem is going to be
Yeah,
without
beautiful.
Ayuk. It's going to be a matter of who's going to be the playmaker to pick up the slack.
Jawan
There you go.
is Jawan.
Woo!
All right, James, come back, man. We gotta wrap up the show. We have less than a minute left. It's gonna cut off. All right. So okay, we gotta go. Really. So okay. So hopefully we're all back. Everybody's super happy. We have a tough game against the Bucks. Who do you guys play?
We got to buy.
We got by.
Oh, okay. So we'll talk about our victory, and then you guys don't have to worry
The
about.
Tampa Bay gonna beat y'all.
Bucks
I
gonna
got
beat-
$2 on that.
Nah, that was a rough game. I think they're gonna have a let. I think we're gonna get them because they have a letdown, even though we have to.
No, they're gonna come out
You guys
hungry
are coming off
and
of a
mad.
bye.
We're coming off a bye. We had 2 weeks
Fresh.
to prepare.
We're fresh, dominant.
Yep. We'll be ready.
Power to the Dodgers.
Hey,
Yeah.
power to the Dodgers. But Bill,
Ugh.
when
Stay
you
fast, stay
guys
fast.
lose to the Bucks, can you say, just admit it, that it's over? When you guys lose to the Bucks this week, can we just come back and say that it's over? All right? Would you
That the
do that?
season is over?